So TRN has always been one of the top recommendations here in the channel. However, in the $50 range in my top 5, there is no TRN in that top 5 under $50. So this is the TRN V90. This is currently one of the flagships of TRN. This is definitely in that $50 price range. So will this now compete in the top 5 here in the channel under $50? We're gonna find out in this video. So really excited about the TRN V90 because this is a 10 driver system. The first 10 driver system that I'm gonna hear from TRN. So this 4 BA and 1 DD, 3.5mm jack, 0.75 connector type, 7 to 40 kHz, 22 ohm impedance, and you do have that new box and also new logo here by TRN. You have that black at the side. Unboxing scissors. Alright, so right off the bat, you do have that lobes with the new logo, and that actually catches my attention. Let's look at what's inside the box first. You have ear tips, which is gray in color with that orange accent. Cable-wise, you have the TRN all-black cable, which is something I like. You have preformed ear hooks. It is in the stiff side and also small fork here. So this is what you get with the sub $20 TRNs. Nothing to write home about. Of course, in this price range, I do hope that you have a better cable. Not the one that they include in the sub $20 range, because you have the 10T3 with that 8-core cable, and yeah, other manufacturers are already stepping up their game in the cable department. So I do hope that they have better cable in the future. So this is the lobes right now. So it's made of metal, but it's matte in color. So I do like the finish here. It's very unique, I'd say, especially in this price range. This is different from what you get with the other KZ or other brands, which is something I like. So it's good to be different, especially in the budgetfi range. So you do have that new logo. To be honest, I'm not that fan of the new logo, and you do have some accent silver design in the lows, which makes it look a bit more upscale. The build is not so bad, but I wouldn't put it in the league of what you get with the 10T3, but it is still next level for me over this one. Here on the other side, you do have this kind of fit in the lobes, which is something I like because this provides more air on your ear to move. This is very comfortable, this kind of design, which is something I like. So this is how it looks like. Right, so it does fit well in the ear. This is what TRN is good at. They're really good in comfort and fit in the ear, and it shows here in the V90. So the isolation here is above average. The fit is also above average, and also comfort is above average. I can see me wearing this for a long listening session. It's not suffocating feeling, which is again a product of the design with the fins and the lobe, which is something I like definitely. The looks will be up to you. This is pretty wearable because it's black on black. It's understated. Again, just the logo is my biggest issue. It's not so bad overall, but definitely yes, that is one of my gripes here. In terms of looks, if that is better, this will be more perfect for me. So I already listened to the TRN V90, and right off the bat, I do like the TRN V90. It's maybe the best TRN that I have heard in the channel so far, and here is why. So it's a fairly neutral sounding IEM. It's also clean sounding, but it has still some smoothness to the sound. So it's not as clean as what you get maybe with a 10T3. It still has some smoothness that makes it good still for casual listening. This also has an impression of an accurate IEM because there's a lot of detail to throw around here in a TRN V90. It's also a lively sounding IEM. It's also aggressive sounding, an exciting sounding IEM overall. So the highs are well extended. There's light sibilance, and there's also good detail, and it has some shimmer also in the highs department. Though it has some thinness sometimes in the highs here, like in Cocaine by Eric Clapton. The cymbals there are not as full-bodied as what I heard from the 10T3 or maybe the TFZ T2. So this nicely extended at the top, but this is not the strength of the V90. The mids are forward in the mix, lots of detail again. This is one of the strengths of the V90. The mids is very good here. So the mids are thick, more in the lush category, so definitely thicker than what you get with the 10T3. The 10T3 has more laid-back mids definitely compared to what you get with a V90. So the mids definitely has a lot of detail to throw around. One of the best mids that I've heard in the price range. and that is pretty impressive. So this is one of the strengths of the V90. So definitely if you like mids in your life, maybe the V90 is for you. So the bass is in the boomy side but not overly boomy. It's not that forward in the mix. Again, it's more of a neutral sounding IEM. So this is not for bass heads. Bass heads will not survive with this IEM. Even though the bass is not that forward in the mix, this has some punch in the V90, which still makes it substantial enough that you can listen to it. It's not a very listenable bass. It's not bass shy at all. This has more bass compared to what you get with the TRN. This has more energy in the bass department. In terms of detail, there's good detail here across the range. Definitely on par now with what you get with TRN and also the TFZ T2, which is really impressive. Especially in that mids, this is the best detailed mids that I've heard in the price range. Soundstage is very good here, one of the largest that I have heard in the TFZ S2 level, and also in the level of the TFZ T2. So definitely an expansive soundstage here. And also the soundstage is more of a rounded stage. The depth and the width is similar. So that's pleasing soundstage shape overall. So the imaging also is superior here, one of the best that I've heard in the price range. A slight notch down compared to what you get with the T3, but I would say right up there. Still, this is something that you can use for mixing and some monitoring with this kind of imaging, and also pinpointing the footsteps in gaming will also be good still here in the V90. In terms of separation, because of that big stage and good imaging, the separation here is also very good. One of the best, if not the best, that I've heard in the TRN, and also even in the price range. So even if this IEM has some smoothness, it's not overly smooth that it sacrifices some separation. So it's still clean enough to have very good separation in the instruments here in the V90. So overall, technically, this is a very capable IEM. So this is like a mix of the TRN and the TFZ T2. It's like a hybrid of that. It still has that monitoring mixing qualities, and also has some fun to it. It's in the middle. Obviously, in terms of ratio, this is more leaning towards the TRN rather than the T2, but definitely yes, this in the middle of those two IEMs. Again, if I'm gonna nitpick, there's a bit thin highs on top, so if you are into highs, maybe this is not for you. I would go with the TRN or even the TFZ T2 in the highs department. It's better here, but the rest of the spectrum is very good here still in the V90. So compared to the ZS10 Pro, the ZS10 Pro is warmer definitely. It has more bass at the bottom. The ZS10 Pro is smoother compared to what you get with the V90. The stage is bigger in the V90. The imaging is better on the V90. Separation is better on the V90. V90 is also brighter in comparison, against slight sibilance in the V90. V90 also has a lot more detail, especially in the mids department. So I do like the V90 more, and this is really impressive because the ZS10 Pro is my top 3 recommendation in the channel, so it beats my top 3 recommendation in the channel. Compared to the TIN Audio T3, the neutrality is similar and both have some brightness on top. It's drier sounding in the T3, it's more clinical sounding in the T3. It's a more laid-back listen in the T3 also. The V90 is more aggressive sounding. The stage is bigger in the V90. Detail retrieval is similar here, but if you want more detailed mids, go with the V90. If you like more detailed highs, go with the TIN T3. The bass is tighter in the T3. Again, the V90 is more boomy. The highs is more full-bodied in the T3. Imaging is similar. Separation is also similar. Overall, the T3 definitely still something that you can use for mixing and recording with that more clean sound, more accurate kind of sound. Some parts of the spectrum, the T3 is better. Though some parts of the spectrum, the V90 is better, especially in that casual listening department. So I would say I like them both in the TIN T3 and also the V90. So compared to the number 1 recommendation here in this channel, the TFZ T2, so I would say they're very similar in terms of the tonality and approach, but of course they have their differences. The V90 has more forward mids, again more neutral in the V90. The T2 has more recessed mids, but the T2 has more warmth, more bass, and also more recessed mids in the T2. The tonality is more aggressive, a little bit more aggressive in the T2. The V90 is more relaxed in comparison. Both are lively sounding, but the T2 is definitely more lively. T2 is one of the most lively IEMs that I've heard. The T2 is also more punchy overall, just more energy there in the T2. The bass is more forward in the T2, so bass heads can actually survive with the T2. The treble is more fuller bodied in the T2. However, both of them have slight sibilance, so if you're treble sensitive, you might find this a bit right for you. Mids are better in the V90. The T2 has more recessed mids, so it's fuller and thicker in the V90, which kind of reminds me actually of the HD600 in terms of, you know, the fullness and the lushness of the mids. The stage is similar, the imaging is also similar, separation is similar. So overall, this is kind of similar overall. The T2 has better highs, more warmth and more punch. V90 has better mids and more dry sound. I would say I like them both. Both of them have their strengths and weaknesses. I would say that this three, the T3, TFZ T2, and also the V90 are on the same level for me. Right, so verdict. So wow, the TRN V90, this is the first time that I'm gonna include a TRN in my top 5 recommendation in $50 range. Definitely, yeah, this up there with the T2 and also the 10 T3. Just a good package overall. So that sound, that versatile sound that you can use for both casual listening and also some monitoring and also some recording work or some mixing work. So it's a versatile IEM overall. It's more of a like a jack of all trades kind of IEM. Build wise, I'm not blown away, but definitely very usable because of that all black design. You know, black on black is very wearable, but definitely I think that's something that TRN has to improve still in the future because of the 10T3, you know, 8-core cable and gunmetal build. You have that competition in that price range, and yeah, 10T3 is one of the better built, and also the TFZ T2 is also, you know, substantial feeling. I would say that these are not in the same level as that one. So in terms of build, it's left to be desired, but in terms of sound, there's definitely great value in the sound here. I would say very impressive package overall by TRN V90. This is the best TRN that I have heard. So definitely, if you're a TRN fan, I would recommend this. If you're somebody who's looking for an IEM to do it all, to do some casual listening and also some monitoring, this is also something that you can pick up. Just take note of what I mentioned, the cons here. If you can survive with the cons here, of course, this may be something for you. Alright, so that is my review of the TRN V90. Really impressive job by TRN. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like. And have you heard of the TRN V90 and what do you think of this IEM? Do you like it, not like it? And do you also have some suggestions for me, future TRNs here in the channel? Of course, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, subscribe for more content like this and the future. I do plan to have a sound test of the TRN V90 along with the top 5 recommendations here in the channel. Of course, subscribe for that here in the channel. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.